Hey everybody, Rick Peterson here, Goes to 11 Media. Today we're going to do a little bit of cooking for you. You guys know how much I really enjoyed using the Smokehouse Products Mini Chief smoker. Did a review about that and landed up doing some smoked salmon, candied salmon. It was awesome. Today I'm going to do something a little different. I want to actually give it a go and make some smoked pork ribs. So I've got a recipe which we're going to go through here in a minute. So I'll put it up as a graphic for you, the list at the end of the video. But basically we're going to be using a bunch of different components for a dry rub. Put that onto the pork into the smoker. I'm going to be using 3 different types of wood today. I've got hickory smoking wood bits. This is by True North. Ordinarily, I would say Smokehouse Products, but I could not find the product locally. All the stores seem to be out. So, and True North's maple smoking wood bits, and I'm going to combine as well a little bit of apple smoking wood bits by True North as well. So we'll see how that 3 combination goes. I'm kind of excited about this. I think it'll have a really interesting flavor to it. So I'll be right back. I'm going to show you a couple other things in a minute. Alright guys, so what I did to make the dry rub, there's a tablespoon of chili powder, there's a couple teaspoons of cumin in there, there's a quarter cup of brown sugar, half a teaspoon or so of some onion powder, some garlic powder, just did a little quick grind of some fresh salt, not a lot, you don't want a lot of salt on this stuff, and you can always salt stuff later. A little bit of cracked pepper, and then there's about just over half a teaspoon of white pepper as well. And right now, and also there's a tablespoon of paprika. So yeah, so we got this all in here right now, just mixing it in. The idea here is get out any of the little lumps so that everything is evenly distributed. One of the things with brown sugar, obviously, is it absorbs moisture and it'll get into little lumps. And then you get a burst of sweet as opposed to an even flavor. So mix it up by hand, get it nice and refined, and then you're ready to do the rub. And we'll be right back in 1 second once I get the pork ready. All right, guys. So you can see the pork ribs that I've got. They're what do we got? They're just called pork ribs here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that silver skin membrane off the back. And then I'm just going to trim out some of the fat as well. I mean, some of the fat is okay, but I like to have my stuff a little bit leaner than I do too fatty. You know, I mean, we're smoking this, so it's not really going to cook out per se. You know, when you're doing a regular cooking, you know, some of the fat will come out that way. But since we're smoking it, it's not going to do that. All right. It took a little bit of doing, but we've actually got this membrane coming off here. There we go. So get rid of that nasty stuff because that's just going to be really tough once you try to bite into these things. I'm going to use a little bit of yellow mustard as a binding agent. Adds a little bit of flavor, but apparently from everything that I've heard about it, it doesn't make it taste like you're having a hot dog with mustard on it. Maybe a little bit of flavor, but nothing major. But it's meant to be more of a binding agent for the rub. So we'll get that all put on there. All covered. So you want the rub to be able to stick to this, right? Next step is going to be taking the rub. Make sure you cover all of it. Give it a nice, because this is what's going to help make that bark, as they call it, when you're doing your smoke. It'll give you all kinds of flavor. Flip it over to the other side. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to find our point here. Cut that. Get some rub all on there. All right, guys, so as you can see, we've got the pork all done up. The rub is on there, and it's ready to go into the smoker. This is an awesome, as I say, the little smoker by Smokehouse Products. It's a top load, so basically I just drop this whole unit right inside of the smoker. And then it's got this pan here, which I've loaded up with our wood chips. So we got that all ready to go. And so there's the 3 different types of woods in there, as I said, that we're going to try and get a little bit of a variety of smoke flavors. So one of the things that I would suggest to you guys is always have a little metal bowl with some water in it, so when you're done with your wood chips and you're going to dump the hot ashes in there, it's in a metal bowl with some water, so it puts the heat out right away. Alright guys, so we pulled the rack out of the smoker. It's been in there for just over 3 hours, and what we've done now is we've started to individually wrap the packets. You can see here that I've got they're half ribs, like half a rack. Just because of the size of the smoker, I can't do one long rack. So what I'm doing is I'm taking them out. I'm going to put them in the oven is what I'm going to do to finish them. I'm putting them into the tin foil, a little bit of butter on top, a little bit of brown sugar, and I'm going to add a little bit of apple juice just for moisture, a little bit of flavor as well. And then we'll seal it up, throw it in the oven for about another 90 minutes to 2 hours, see how it looks. Once we're done that process, then what we'll do is we will pull them out of the foil, put them onto their racks, baste them with a little bit of barbecue sauce, and throw them back into the oven at a higher heat and get that really nice caramelization of the barbecue sauce. We should be good to go. Talk to you in a bit. Alright guys, so we've done the couple hours or just over in the oven at about 225, 230 degrees. You can see the meat starting to pull away from the bones here, and we've got a good bark on the outside. Now what we're going to do is the final stage, and we're going to just do a little bit of a barbecue sauce on it. Always makes it a great touch to have on your ribs. A lot of people don't like to have it where it's really, sort of sloppy with barbecue sauce, so we won't make it too goopy. One of the things I'm using here, I love it, Sweet Baby Ray's, makes a really, really good barbecue sauce, and I think it's going to taste spectacular on these ribs. So what we're going to do, we're going to put this on, cranked up the oven to about 450. We're going to let it do its thing in the oven and caramelize this barbecue sauce. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Alright guys, so we finished the caramelization process. It took about 9 or 10 minutes in the oven at 450. Make sure you watch that because it will have a tendency to burn on you pretty quick if you're not watching. I caught it just in the nick of time, so it turned out perfect. So we're going to take a closer look at this here for you. I'm going to just give this a little cut, show you how it looks inside. It's nice and tender. Look at that, nice smoke ring in there. Flavor is going to be awesome on this meat. So remember, this process takes time, guys. This is not something that you can rush. It's going to take you a full day by the time all said and done to get this to the point where you're ready to plate it and have it for dinner. Well worth it. Take your time with it. I would like to thank Smokehouse Products again for making such an awesome product with the Mini Chief Smoker. This thing is unreal. Did a great job, and I'm looking forward to diving in. So we're going to talk to you guys later.